When Elaine saw her throw 20,000 out, she couldn't help but immediately pushed the card and shouted, "Haha, I'm D*MN. I have 20,000. Oh. Lien deliberately said annoyedly, "Why are my hands so unwilling? Why did I play this card?" Elaine hurriedly said, "Hey, Sister Lien, we have already said yes. If this card falls, you will die. You can't go back." Lien said, "Don't worry, Sister Elaine, I'm not that kind of person. You fired this gun. You will definitely not be short of money." Horia also helped her and said, "Yes, Elaine, for Sister Lien, playing mahjong for 1,000 is all small money. It's mainly for fun." At this time, Lien had already handed over 24,000 to Elaine and said, "You are a 24 fan, right? A total of 24,000. You count." Elaine was so excited that she took the money and counted it, then excitedly put it aside and continued to play mahjong with them. Subsequently, Elaine's card luck was surprisingly good. Basically, any hand of cards is surprisingly good. Coupled with Horia's help, Elaine almost always wins. After 3 rounds of cards, Elaine lost a total of 2 rounds. The other rounds kept winning, and 3 rounds of mahjong had won more than 300,000. She used to play mahjong, and she won at most 10,000. How could she have seen so much money? And when she counted the money, she found that she had won more than 300,000, and her excited eyes were red. At this time, when the cards were shuffled again, Horia couldn't help coughing slightly when the fire was almost over. Lien, who was sitting at the poker table, changed her face a little, and knew immediately that it was time to close the net. Feed the pigs, it's time to kill the pigs. Immediately afterwards, Lien yawned and said, "Oh, it's so boring to play 1,000 mahjong, I'm almost falling asleep, or let's play a little bigger, it will refresh me." Horia smiled and said, "I can do it." After speaking, she looked at Elaine and asked with a smile, "Elaine, what do you think?" Elaine didn't know that she had fallen into a trap at this time. She felt that she had made more than 300,000 so easily. If she played a little bigger, she would make more than 3 million in a while. She, who was in the mood, had no idea what to do if she lost. So she was very excited and said, "Okay, then let's play bigger." Lien nodded, stretched her waist, and said lightly, "Then you can pay 10,000. It's boring to be too small." After that, she added, "It doesn't matter if you guys are too big. I happen to have a neighbor who likes to play smaller mahjong. I can ask her to do it for me and I will go upstairs and sleep for a while." 10,000? Elaine was stunned. Is this a bit too big? It might be too scary to lose 5 or 600,000 with one hand. At this time, Horia always winked at her, and said with a smile, 10,000 is okay, Elaine, you are so lucky. If you want to really play 10,000, you won't say making 5 million today. As soon as she heard about 5 million, Elaine's sanity disappeared. If she doesn't agree, Lien will probably ask her neighbor to come and help her fight, so how can she find a bully and make herself a few million? So she nodded excitedly and said, "Okay. Then pay 10,000. Okay." Lien smiled slightly and said, "Come on, let's start. The money is too big, let's use mobile banking to transfer money, it is convenient." The other 3 also agreed and said, "Okay, I'll pay 10,000. After reaching a consensus, everyone began to draw cards again. After Elaine drew all the cards, she flipped the cards she was holding up, and straightened out the cards, and suddenly screamed in excitement. Her card turned out to be the best. The so-called Tian Ting means that the cards have been drawn as soon as they are drawn. What a lot of luck it takes to have such a good hand. Moreover, the cards she won are very good. She has a pair of 7 to 80,000, winning 60,000 and 90,000. Generally speaking, as long as 10,000 or 90,000 are in the hands of others, if they don't hold right or go smoothly, they will definitely be played. That is to say, from now on, as long as someone beats 190,000, you will be fooled. Moreover, such a day draw can get the highest multiple by calling it directly. Thinking of this, she was excited to buckle all the cards, and said excitedly, "I have a draw." Lien was surprised and said, "Sister Elaine, so amazing, you listened to it as soon as you came up?" "Yes," Elaine said with an unbearable smile. "I don't know what's wrong. I feel very lucky today." Lien nodded and said, "It seems that you are destined to win today." After finishing talking, Lien, who was sitting on the bank, straightened out the cards and flipped up the 4 cards and said, "Concealed." Elaine was surprised and said, "Oh, Sister Lien has a concealed bar when she starts the card. It's amazing." Lien smiled and said, "You didn't look at my other cards, it's so bad to die." Elaine reminded, "By the way, Sister Lien, if you draw, the concealed bar must be revealed." "Of course." Lien nodded and said with a smile, "The draw will definitely show up for you, don't worry." Because Elaine has already called a draw, she can't switch to right now, and hit whatever she draws until she draws or someone fires a cannon. But she didn't know, at this time, Lien's hidden card was 90,000. There are 4 and 60,000, Horaya and Nivea each have 2. Just as Elaine was anxiously catching and playing, Lien suddenly smiled and said, "Oh, I'm also drawing." After speaking, she turned over the 4 cards of her hidden one. Elaine looked at these 4 cards and suddenly felt dizzy. What a bad luck. Lien actually concealed 90,000. No wonder she couldn't catch 90,000 in this long time, and no one shot 90,000. Depressed, Elaine couldn't help but think to himself, although 90,000 are gone, but 60,000 hasn't come out yet, which means she still has a chance.